All right, guys, I'm so excited for this Tuesday night. I'll let you guys know how it kind of came about. I asked in the roundtable and I said, who has, upcoming leaders who are just doing some amazing things that have either just recently hit 1-star or 2-star, and a couple people commented, and I believe it was your upline, Jenna, right? Like it was, I believe your upline.
Courtney is actually like five spots above me.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's the power
that's
of
a whole story.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's the power of this business, you guys, is that you will have leaders way down in your organization that you're able to help. But she said Jenna, and so I went and Instagram stalked her, and I was like, yes, like we need to have her on the team. And as her and I were talking back and forth, I'm like, so what do you want to call this? And she's like, get your SHIT together. And I'm like, all right, that's what we need, right? Like that is a topic that our team totally needs. And then her and I were discussing back and forth, and she's like, you know what, I want to have my success partner on here because she's doing some amazing things as well. So we have Lauren with us tonight as well. I'm going to give a little bit of your stats, guys, and then I'll hand it over to you. But currently, Jenna is a 2-star diamond coach. She has hit Success Club for 35 months in a row, you guys. The last 17 months have been SC10 or higher, I'm assuming. Okay, so that's amazing. So she's currently an SC 5-star All-Star Legend, which means 2 years in a row, you guys, as well as an SC10 All-Star, which means a year of SC10 or higher. If you're not shooting for that, you need to go for that, you guys, because those home direct leads that you get, many of my coaches have come from those people, okay? So you're missing out if you're not doing that. Then Lauren is currently a diamond coach, and I'm excited for her to talk because they said that, she was having some issues with staying consistent with Success Club, and this year she's been crushing it, you guys. She's already at SC8 for the month of May, and it's what? The 7th? That's pretty remarkable.
12 now.
See, and that's remarkable, you guys. It's, I know that she's going to be able to relate to a lot of you guys and where you're at in your business right now. So, guys, I'm going to hand it over to you, and I'm going to get my notes ready.
Okay, so before we start, how much time do we have, just so we know?
I would say about 30 minutes, and then we'll take like 10 minutes for questions and stuff.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. So I want to start off by saying when I joined this business, I joined for a discount. I had no intention really of working the business, only because I didn't know enough about it. So that is, my first tip is don't ever, I was a discount coach too. Yeah. Don't ever discount anybody in your organization because you never know where your leaders are going to come from. And that's kind of how, Courtney Gubernick, like I was saying, I'm like 5 spots under her. She didn't even know who I was or that she should even reach out because I was so far down in her downline that until I started hitting Success Club, like I really did not have any support. And I want to point out too, I am in a dead spot, which means I do not get any volume from anyone above me on our team whatsoever. So if you have been using that as an excuse in your business as to why you can't make it work, you've got to stop, because I choose to look at it as whatever making I'm excited about, because that's me and my team and we're rocking it. So it's all about your perspective with that. So a little bit about me, and then I'm going to turn it over to Lauren. I taught elementary school for 8 years, and I developed horrible anxiety from it. It just got to the point where I could not see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And coaching was just the one thing. I just poured myself into it once I figured out that there was an option for me to do that. So I actually just quit my teaching job right before spring break, and I am a full-time coach. So yeah,
yay! So I'm Lauren, and actually Jenna messaged me probably almost about 2 years ago. My 2-year anniversary of being a coach actually is May 25th, I think. It's like Memorial Day or something. But she messaged me just out of the blue. I had been watching her for a really long time, never liked, never commented on literally anything, just like stalked her for a while. And then when she reached out to me, I had actually been reached out to by a few Beachbody coaches before her, but it was just something about her, and the timing was right and everything. And I was just like, I had been watching her for so long. So some of the other coaches who had reached out to me, I wasn't watching them. So like, I kind of was like, But because I was watching Jenna, I was like, yeah, like I was probably the easiest coach she's ever signed up in her life.
Well, I wasn't, the funny thing is I didn't even ask her to coach. I wanted her in my challenge group. And she was like, so how do I make commission? And I was like, oh, we're going there. Like, well, I don't really know, but we can figure it out together. She's like, okay.
Yeah. So Jenna and I really have made a lot of mistakes, I would say, but we kind of learned this on our own. We, like she said, we didn't have a lot of support just in terms of like, we had to go reach out to Courtney and stuff, which was not our direct upline. But I am a school teacher. When I met her, I taught high school geometry. I had been teaching that for 5 years, and this is my first year at the middle school. But this is my last year of teaching as well. My letter of resignation in. I'm so excited, you guys. I have 2 weeks left of school, and I'm to be over so bad.
Yeah.
But last year, and really, I had hit Success Club, you know, in my first year. I wasn't consistent. Like I would hit it for like 3 months, and then I would like have a mental fart or something. I don't know. And I would totally just like get to 4 or something. And then I would like freak out and not be able to do it. So I wasn't able to keep that streak my first year. And sometimes I beat myself up about that, but I went into 2019, like I'm not missing a month. And I also went in, I'm shooting high. So my, I think what happened, which we'll get into this later, but I don't think I was setting high enough expectations for myself. And so I was always missing the bar. And now my expectations are a little scary for me still, but the fact that I've set them so high, I'm achieving results.
And it's funny that you say that because I did the same thing. Like when I was Club 5, like I said, I didn't really know in the business. So Success Club 5 was my goal for my first year. And when I got to, 6, because I don't even know how you get 1 point, honestly. When you get to 6, like I found myself stopping and I wouldn't message anybody because I was scared that I didn't have anybody for the next month. So I was like saving people and all of that. And I hit, what did I hit? I think 48, and I got in the morning meltdown test. Like that fear is gone, and we're going to teach you guys how we worked through that.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of rip on each other. Skull.
We always
I hope that's fine.
Check out our stories after this too, because we made a hype video for this.
That's our personalities to it.
It's really funny.
So, and I think it's crazy to me too that I found my absolute best friend in the whole world through coaching and at age 30. Like that blows my mind. Like we couldn't be more different, but we're still like,
oh my gosh, best friends forever.
It's just crazy. So anyway, okay. So this all started like, let's see, back in like November, December, you were in your head, you were not hitting Success Club.
No.
She hit Success Club 4 both months and just couldn't get to 6. And so we talk all the time, but we got on a Zoom call and we dug in deep, and I was asking some really hard questions to her. And I'm like, what are you afraid of? Like, what is the problem? And she's like, I don't know. Nobody's messaging me back. You know, you get like,
yeah, I got defensive because, you know, I knew going into my teaching this year that this was going to be my last year. I talked to my husband. I'm like, coaching's my thing. I'm making it happen. I don't care. Like, and so we had this whole conversation. So I knew I was done after the school year. So I went into the school year kind of like down on myself, like using that as an excuse that I couldn't do a full-time job and, you know, be successful in my coaching business. And that's what really, that was what that halted me. But also I felt, because I was a mom and a full-time teacher and all of these things, that if I were to sign somebody up, I couldn't put my energy into them like I personally.
Yeah.
So my style of coaching is I really want to be involved in these people's lives. Like I want to be talking to them. I want to be doing face-to-face meetings with them. I want to be checking in with them. Like I don't want to sign somebody up and them say my coach did nothing. That's like my biggest fear in the entire world of coaching is that I sign somebody up and I don't do my job. So that held me back from messaging people.
So here's the thing, and this is going to be the theme of our call tonight. We want to get you guys thinking like, what are you afraid of on a deeper level? Like, what is it that you're not saying that is actually holding you back? Because it took us probably a 40-minute Zoom call to get her to say that. And then once she did, we said, okay. I'm like, so what would make you feel bad? And we talked through that. And you're going to laugh when you hear the solution to this. So you ready? Here's a solution. Messaging her challengers 1 day a week.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. Because I was like, Jenna, I just really want to like talk to these people and I just want to make, she's like, okay, well, day of the week, can we just like message everyone like, hey, how's it going? You know, you need my help. And I was like, oh, I can do that on Saturdays. And she's like, okay. And then I started doing that every Saturday.
You hit Success Club 12 the next month.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was my thing.
So that was her thing. So then I'm trying to think, like, I mean, really the next thing was, I think I got in my head about inviting coaches after that. Mm-hmm. And because, you know, we go through these times where we're like, okay, what do I do with a coach? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, that's kind of scary sometimes.
How am I going to get a new coach started? So we sat down, and actually it was after our retreat. We went to Utah with our team, and we're like, okay, this is crazy, because we were pushing for big goals. I was going 2-star, you were going 1-star. And so we were like, okay, what do we want a new coach to do? And this is just us. We said, it's overwhelming to get someone started. We need a system. We need to put something in place. So for us, we made a Facebook group with units and made it as basic as we possibly could. And now we have our coaches going through that. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do that. I'm just saying you need to figure out what fear you have and what can you put in place to get over that fear. Because once we had that, we're like, this is great. All we have to do when we sign a coach up is put them in this group and then check in with them and do calls. Like, that lifted that pressure off of like, what do we get them started with?
Yeah. And I think with coaching and with customers, like, you have to sit down and say, okay, I signed X person up. Okay. What's their journey going to be like the second they tell me they ordered? I think and a lot of the times we're so worried about like, well, what do I say in messages? And blah, blah. It's like, well, yeah, but you gotta understand, you know, your job starts really, you know, after you sign that person up, because that's at least how I feel. And so having some type of system is going to make you feel more confident messaging these people and inviting them. So we have like a little system that we use, like we send them a little email, you know, something simple like that. And then we kind of schedule a call with them. Right.
Yep.
So we've covered, okay, they know that we're not going anywhere. We're going to say, hey, welcome, blah, 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 whatever. Then we're going to say, let's get on a call together and let's talk through your challenge pack.
Yeah.
And then same thing with coaches too. So it's like, I'm not scared to I literally invite everyone, like everyone who watches me. I'm like, hey, like I send them a voice message, because I'm not scared, because I know when they sign up with me, they're going to have the best freaking experience of their life, because we are so organized with just like this is what happens when people sign up. And I'm telling you, it's like, I can't keep up right now with the people wanting to sign up. And that's a good thing.
Yep. And I think right now you need to go back and ask yourself, do you feel deep down in your heart, if somebody joins you tomorrow morning, you wake up and you have a message from someone that says, I ordered, do you feel in your heart 100% that you can help them change their life? Because if you answer no, you have to figure out why. And that's really the question that we kept asking ourselves. We always go back to that. And maybe it's because you haven't fully committed to your own health and fitness journey.
I was just going to say that.
I know.
Yeah.
So like, maybe you haven't committed to yourself yet, and that's what's holding you back. If you're rocking your own journey, then there's some other reason why you're scared to invite them. You like get a that Meg just posted a Google Drive and she's like, I got you.
Right
like,
here.
That's awesome.
Good.
That's perfect. So like you guys have that as a team, like get familiar with it. And that may be it too. Maybe you've never been in that drive and maybe you're like, yeah, but I don't know what I'm even sending them. Then go look, like
go study it.
Yeah. You guys have an awesome team. And you have those resources. So
okay. What?
Moving forward.
What?
Just, yeah.
Okay. So we got our notes over here. So I'm just making sure. Another thing that we've kind of found with our coaches themselves is just taking ownership and accountability. So we read the book, The 12-Week Year, and we have all of our coaches read this. Like when we get a new coach signed up, you know, we get them started with whatever we got going on, and then we tell them to get that book. And What?
But there's a reason we started that.
No, I know. I'm
Okay.
getting there.
Okay. Never mind.
So, anyways, Jenna and I read this book because we just felt like we were just having things spinning in our head that we needed to do every single day. And we just could never get it together to like, what do we need to do today? Just doing all these things. And it was like chaos all the time.
And I think too, like there would be days, you guys, I'm coaching full time this year. And there would be days where I'd talk to Lauren. She teaches full time, mind you. And I would talk to her at like 4:00 in the afternoon and she'd be like, yeah, I messaged 32 people on my lunch break. And then I made this post and I scheduled all my posts for next week and I did this. And I was like, what did I do all day? Like, oh my God. So,
but that's because I have these short little times that I have to squeeze all this stuff in. And so we kind of realized that, like, okay, well, Lauren's like forced to do this in such a short period of time. So she's getting a lot done and Jenna has a little bit more time. So we're like, okay, we need to get another system in place for ourselves, like for our lives.
And because like, I mean, my husband gets home from work at 5 and for a while I was stuck in this mindset that like I had to message people back as soon as they messaged me. And I don't want to be attached to my phone all the time. Like that's not why I signed up for this. You know, I want freedom and I want to be able to unplug and enjoy my time with him. So for me, that meant the very first thing every single morning, I go into my morning a 10-minute block where I respond to everybody from the day before. And it literally takes me 10 minutes. It's so fast. But that has given me just that relief that I can plug my phone in and I don't need to message anyone right now. So,
so if you're finding, like a lot of the times if you're overwhelmed, it's really just your brain taking your to-do list, like a couple things, and it's just putting it on repeat. So you really probably don't have that much to do. Honestly, like, let's just be honest. Like if you were to write it on a piece of paper, it'd be like 10 things. And you're like, feels like I have to do 9,000 things.
Right.
Because your brain's just going to keep looping. So with the book, at least, if you haven't read it, you should totally read it. He teaches you how to like get all that stuff out, get it in a plan. Like when are you doing these certain things? And that really helped us. So we have all of our coaches doing that. Yeah. But in the book, he talks about accountability, which I think is huge because, you know, coaches, we love that word, right? Which is a good word, but we use accountability groups and yada, yada, yada. But something that stuck with me was he's like, literally no one can hold you accountable but yourself. Like nobody can. You've got to take ownership of what you're doing. So we use our tracker system, which you guys, Beachbody has like a tracker, okay, to track all your stuff. Maybe your team has one because I know our upline they like kind of tweaked it and did their own little thing. We use Vimify. It's an app.
It's literally though, it's just that business activity tracker, and we took the actions and made it
into an app.
So that people
we didn't make the app though.
We did not make the app. We got this off a wake up call, you guys.
Yeah.
And here's why. So our calls for our team are Monday nights. Okay. 3 weeks ago on a Monday night, we were super excited for this call and we're posting about it on our team page. And Lauren and I get on and we're like, where are y'all at?
Yeah, we were kind of pissed at them.
Yeah, only one girl got on. So we did a one-on-one call with her for 20 minutes. And we're like, okay, like have a great night. And she got off and we were like, what in the, like, what
we
just
were
happened?
So mad.
We were pissed. So we were pissed for like, I don't know, a few minutes.
Then we're like, we aren't doing something right.
Yeah. Obviously. So we're like, okay, why did they not get on? What can we change to get them excited, to get them on these calls, because it's got to be us. So we're like, okay, we got to think on this. The next morning, I swear it's fate. It's just bizarre.
It's just weird.
The next morning on Tuesday, I was listening to the wake up while I was, doing my morning routine stuff. So I'm listening to it and she starts talking about like, oh my gosh. So I'm like texting Lauren. We're literally working on it like from her breaks at school and her lunch break. So we get this whole thing set up and we rolled it out to our coaches. And the next week we had
almost all of our coaches hitting Success Club. Yeah. And our numbers were insane. It was insane. It was like light bulb moment insane. But this is where the accountability comes in. So he talks like, you can't, like your coach can't hold you accountable, and like we can't really, we can try to hold our challengers accountable. I have challengers who won't freaking message me back. Text them 95 question marks every single time. Hello. I know. Like, I know you've fallen off.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, it's fine. But anyway, so like we can't really hold him accountable. So that's the power of tracking, because you are now holding yourself accountable for what you did that day, good or bad. And he talks about a lot of the times we're all hunky-dory about taking accountability when things are going great, but when don't do something we're supposed to do for our business or whatever, we start blaming other outsides and, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, start tracking what you're doing in your business, just like you track your nutrition. If you're not doing that, you got to do that first. Right. Then you got to track your business, and then you evaluate it every week. All right, I did bing, 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 bing out of, it's basic math. Like calculate how many points you got. That's the denominator. And then you put you did, that's the numerator. You get your percentage. Whatever that percentage is. Let's say it comes out to be 60%. And he'll tell you 85% is basically going to get you to your goals. So you're like, okay, what can I do, move around in my day so I can get 85%? If you're not tracking your actions, you're just flailing around. Yep. That's what you're doing. In every aspect, in your nutrition, in your workouts, in your business, everything. Yeah. If you're not tracking who you're talking to, you're flailing around. So, and Kara just said, I'm terrible at tracking. And we were too. But that's accountability right now. Not good at tracking. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go print out that tracker if you haven't printed it out, and you're going to put the date on it, and you're going to check, don't lie on the tracker too. Okay. Do not lie on it. So you track, like, did my workout, posted it, did this, drank my Shakeology, ding, 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 check it off. Like, and then score yourself. You guys, literally, at the end of the week. If you would print out the business activity tracker, duct tape it to your wall. Sorry, just like duct tape it to your wall. I'm getting excited. It's okay. If you would follow that for the next week. Oh, you'd be so happy. You're going to be at Success Club by tomorrow. I know. You could sell 3 challenge packs in a day. Easy. That's so easy. Duct tape, all the things. Yeah. Like literally, if you just track it accountable. So I think at this point, that's kind of really, we want to make this kind of a working call. I know we have about 9-8 minutes, but that's fine. So we want you to think, because we're going to do questions. So we want you to think write these things down, and you don't have to do it tonight. You can do it later. Yeah. But what are you avoiding? Okay. Is it whatever it is, your workouts, your nutrition? Is it you don't have a system to sign people up? Is it whatever? So what are you avoiding? What do you need to kind of evaluate? Yep. Go. I don't know what you meant there. Oh, what? These questions you wrote down. Oh, well, those are the things that they're avoiding. Go. I'm like, go where? Okay. Okay, 3 things, you guys. You're either avoiding hitting Success Club, you're avoiding signing coaches, or you're avoiding getting your own journey together. Yes. Like, those are the 3 things. If anyone can think of any more, type them, because I can't. I don't know. Really. Yeah. Get your own journey together. And here's the thing, if you're not doing that, you're not going to be hitting Success Club, and you're not going to be signing coaches, because you're not going to be confident in your own journey. That has to come first. And if you're not signing coaches, figure out why. If you're not signing up challengers, figure out why. But that's what we want to talk about tonight. So does anybody, do you guys have anybody want to be our guinea pig? I guess we're both former teachers. Yeah. So. If you've been thinking why, what are you avoiding? Did anybody have a light bulb moment or anything like that? If I hit cancel spotlight so I can see you guys, will that do anything, Meg? Unmute who? Me? Oh, no. I love you guys. So guys, we're going to, either you guys are going to unmute yourself, or I'm going to call someone out. So yes. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Be the brave. Will make eye contact with me now. It's like,
okay, I'll go.
Yeah, Jamie.
So I feared for a long time inviting coaches to my business because I didn't feel confident with my onboarding process. And then it dawned on me that my lovely coach has an amazing onboard process. That's Meg. And so it wasn't necessary that I replicate and recreate all the wheels, right? Which was only providing me a vehicle to avoid more work, because I was just scrambling, trying to recreate everything. And I'm terrible at graphics and all the things. And so I started plugging them. Carrie, I see you laughing. So I started plugging in my new coaches into her onboarding process, including her new coach training, et cetera, et cetera. And then I get to do what I'm really good at, which is loving on them, encouraging them, doing one-on-one, and spending time face-to-face, and just, yeah. So
that's perfect. That is perfect. Yeah. Well, and you're right, Jamie. Like I got stuck in that, like, oh, I should make a lovely group instead of reaching out to people today. And then you spend 3 hours making groups you don't need to make, and you're not doing the actions that are going to move your business forward. So that's where that tracking comes into play. Because, like, I mean, yeah, you may work for 6 hours a day, but what did you spend your time working on? Like that, working. Exactly.
I want to read hers. I was just reading that. Is it
Shayna?
Okay, Shayna. She says she doesn't feel confident talking and sharing her journey, but her aha is like her own journey. She hasn't been.
Hold on,
I can't see the side.
There.
Okay, there we go. I'm almost afraid to succeed in that or to be excited about my progress so far without sounding annoying or something. Oh, no. You're not annoying at all.
No.
At all. Like, this is the thing. When you work on your own self, your confidence goes up, obviously. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that goes up. But you also have to know, like, I deep down believe there is nothing else out there like this. Yeah. So when I talk to people, like this girl told me the other day, because she voted on one of my polls about nutrition or whatever, I'm like, have you ever done a fad diet or something? And she's like, yeah, in this cabbage soup diet. And then I drink potato soup in like whole weeks. And I was like, no. Like, I literally just like messaged her back. I was like, yeah, absolutely not. And like told her like what we do. And I was like, there's literally nothing out here, like out in the world that's like this. I directed her to my page. Go look at my page. Go look at what I'm all about. Blah, 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 blah. Because I know for a fact, like, I don't care what you come at me with. There's nothing better than this. And the reason I feel that way is because of what I have achieved in my journey. Mm-hmm. Like the strength. I'm a C-section mom with a torn stomach and, all that. And I'm freaking got a 6-pack. Like, you don't have to have a 6-pack, but you know what I mean? Like, I got insane results from this. Mm-hmm. And so when people come at me with like, well, I don't know. I'm like, girl, you're missing out big time on this. Like big time. Yeah. Obviously I talk differently to people. You're probably not going to be as aggressive as me, but you gain a lot more confidence when you have that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. I feel like putting myself out there so much is really vulnerable. The biggest thing I've not done in a strong fashion. I've been strong in the past couple of days. Honestly, that's the way that you're going to reach people, is just to share who you really are.
Well, let's dig a little further though, because did you have something like happen is there something going on in your life that's like, like when I feel like when somebody says that, putting themselves out there, it's either extreme shyness or it has something to do with maybe about your life.
I was like clicking over to find you. So she's nodding.
Which one did I hit? Extreme shyness, or is there something going on in your life? Shyness? Okay. So we could baby a little bit. Do you do videos on at all? Like video of you talking? What do you talk about? Here, unmute yourself. I want to talk to you. What do you talk about on your stories when you do a video?
I've done one where I talked about my journey, my health journey, and then I just this week, because I'm really making myself, move out of my comfort zone. I just discussed a little bit about like a work session we were going to do together.
Okay.
So I haven't done many video type things.
So, Chris, are you reading personal development right now?
A lot of it, yes.
Okay, I have a suggestion because I think that's what got me out of my comfort zone. I'm actually super introverted, or not. What I started doing on my stories every morning is I started sharing a little piece of personal development of whatever I had read. So I would read for 10 minutes, and then while it was like fresh in my head, because you know how you feel after you read personal development. You're like, I got this. Just hop on your stories and talk for just a couple and give people one away.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be like you talking. And if you do that every day, one small takeaway of the day, then you're going to gain that confidence and people are going to get used to seeing you and you're going to blossom and be able to come on and do anything.
I love that she said, keep doing that. You guys, in your stories, I mean, I know we're talking about Instagram, but like, you got to have some things that are consistent. And so I know some people are like, well, it might be annoying. Every morning, you guys, every single morning, I look ridiculous with my everywhere and I'm dumping my Energize into my things. I get up at 4:30 in the morning every weekday. I do the same thing. I don't change it. I'm silent. I don't even talk. I just kind of put it in there. I put a little something. I have a routine every morning. So these people are obsessed with watching me dump my Energize into my cup. It's crazy.
I know.
But because I do it every single day, they're like, well, where's Lauren at? It's 4:30 and she should be dumping her Energize into her cup.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
People will literally message me in the morning if I don't show up like around the same time and they'll be like, hey girl, you okay? Like, I'm good. Like, you just got to develop that consistency.
And that'll make you feel good. You'll be like, I know what I'm going to video today, like my personal development. Then it gets out of the way and you're just like ready. The rest of the day, you're not worried about it. You already got your video done. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
honestly, that's the only thing that, not the only thing probably, but the main thing that made us as successful as we are right now is just consistency. I mean, when we signed up, I printed out my first challenge group in a binder. That's how far removed from all of this I was. I had no clue what I was doing. Put it in a binder and I was like, got my 21-day fix group. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
So like no idea. So, but we were consistently showing up and we just made a decision to show up and figure it out and not go away. Yeah. So, I mean, you have two options. You can either, and this book you should read if you've not read it yet, but I love this because he has you really dig in to what you're avoiding and get real with yourself. And you have two options when you do that. You can either shy away and back away and be like, oh,
and retreat from it. Yep.
Or you get over it and you figure out a way to push through it. Because I mean, think about it. If you're not where you want to be right now, like there is so much potential in this business, you guys, so much freaking potential. And you're not going to get there if you don't change what you're doing right now.
But Chris, also, you're not the only uber shy person in this world.
No.
Either. So it would be nice people to know that you're really nervous about doing this and that you tell them like, this is super awkward. Like I'm really shy, because then you're going to get those people that are like you and they're going to say, oh my God, me too. But you're able to do this. So I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So leverage that shyness, because there's so many people out there that would think, oh, this is for outgoing people. This isn't for me, you know, and it is for them.
Yep.
Like it is. What else? We got any questions? I know I was reading through. Anybody have anything?
I'm trying to scroll up and see. I don't know. I feel like we've covered everything. Does anybody want to unmute? Or Meg, you want to call somebody out?
They're all like, don't call me out. I actually have a question. So since you guys are little babies in this business, since I've been here for 10 years, I'm curious because these people who are on this call are pushing for Diamond. Some of them are going for 2-star. So I want to hear from both of you guys. What was your plan of attack to get to Diamond? And what, I know you guys said you had to push past limiting beliefs and all that kind of stuff. I want to hear from you guys since you guys are fresher so they can relate to that.
Draw it out.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you draw it out and plug in names of people that are either in your challenge group right now. Those are your best people, you guys. Every single time, every week, when I go to message my challengers to check in with them, I'm rolling through my head who's going to be a coach? Who can I message to be a coach? Who can I message to be a coach? I don't message everybody. I message people that I think could be a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
So what Jenna and what we did in Utah, actually, when we went to our retreat, is they made us draw out Diamond, right? Or whatever, 1-star, whatever, who you're making Diamond.
Yep.
And then plug in names and start, reaching out to those people.
That's the jump. Because until you have that visual, it seems like it's far away and it doesn't seem doable, or at least that's how it was for me when I was pushing.
Oh, it seemed like Diamond for me seemed like 5 years. Like
And
that would,
nope. Yeah.
it was no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it really is super, super possible. I mean, you guys could honestly be there before, next
By
week.
Friday.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Like, literally, it's just a matter of getting that vision, making a decision, and giving yourself a deadline too is huge, because otherwise you're going to keep putting things off. If you're like, okay, I am Diamond by Friday, so let's see, if I need 4 coaches, well, I'm going to message 40 people and we're going to see where we can get this, because it really is, it's like a 10% thing for the most part.
Draw it out. But like, if you're sitting there like, well, I don't have that many people to message about coaching, well, then are you not talking about it at all? Like,
yes.
Because
that's
what I'm saying is, like, I talk about it every single day.
Yep.
Every day, people, I have a countdown that I put down every day. Countdown to full-time coach. I put that up every single day. But I talk about coaching all the time. Like, just even little snippets, like about to get on a call, or, I don't even know. We just do random stuff. But we talk about it every single day. So that way, if somebody's watching my coaching story, that I don't feel weird messaging them like, hey,
well, and it's funny because we like rip on each other, which you guys can probably tell, but like, you have a success partner, we like to take the misconceptions. We kind of hone in on those on our Instagram stories, because even the girls in our challenge groups who like love it still watch us on Instagram. So the one day a couple weeks ago, we were getting ready to like roll out our new coaching mentorship, and she and I sat down and pulled up our Instagrams, like our very first posts, and we screenshotted them and tagged each other in our stories, and we were like snorting, we were laughing so hard and just ripping on each other, making fun of each other. And it was like, people could relate to that, because they're like, oh my gosh, that's pretty much what my Instagram looks like right now. And that's what we were doing. And so it's like, we're showing that you don't have to be good at Instagram. You don't have to be in best shape. You don't have to be exactly where you want to be in your fitness journey. You don't have to be outgoing. Like, we kind of hone in on everybody's insecurities, because you're going to get over them.
And it's really easy, you guys, in your stories to talk about coaching all the time. Like, I know sometimes writing like a big, nice formal post is kind of like, every single day, that's kind of whatever. I usually talk about posting in my feed like or twice a week, but in my stories, it's every single day. And all I'm doing, you guys, is like, if I'm working my business at lunch, I'm just like currently messaging these people. I don't even know, like, whatever I'm doing, I just hold my phone up, I videotape myself on what I'm doing and whatever. And then like tonight, I'm talking about getting on this call with you guys. And even if you're, you're not leading the call, you're getting on this Diamond call right now. So get pumped, like, go to Jen and I's story. Like, you don't have to be as wild as we are, but
we did like a trailer video. We're rapping, like saying we're pumping ourselves up for this call. Like, we're
just talk about it. Light and airy. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy serious. You don't have to have an invite every time you talk about coaching either. So you don't have to worry about that. You are technically inviting when you're talking about it. You don't have to say, you want to join my team every single time you talk about coaching.
Right. But then, if you see people watching your stories and they're going through your coaching ones and then they get somewhere else, they didn't click out, they didn't swipe out of your stories. So they were still watching. So that means in some way, shape, or form, they are. And it's free reign to go message them and ask them, invite them. So, yeah. All right.
Okay.
What other thoughts? Everyone on here should be IG storying that you're on this call right now.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. And it's true, you guys. Like, the more you talk about it, like, we all are like, how are these people signing up so many coaches? They're talking about it every single day. And if we're not signing up coaches, it's because we're not talking about it every single day. We assume that people know from our social media because we posted one time 3 months ago that we're a coach. Right. And the way that social media works, you guys, people don't see every single post, every single story that you put up. So you have to talk about it every single day. We also know that it takes people 7 to 10 times of seeing something before they actually want to do something, right? Like we all get frustrated, how many of us, when it's someone you've invited and they keep watching your stories and you're like, why are you still watching my stories? You said you ignored me, right? Like you ignored my message. Let them watch your stories, okay? Because those are the people that are going to come back because they're still continuing to watch you and they're just not quite ready, okay? Let's see. Any other stories or questions? Sorry, you guys. Let's see.
Without calling some people out, I'll call like a group of people out.
I love you.
Call yourselves out. I think one thing that I know for sure as I look around this group of people that quite a few of you struggle with is a track record of not hitting Success Club and letting that get in your way. So I don't know if any of you are willing to share what maybe it is for you that is holding you back and getting in your head, because I know these girls would love to talk it out, and I bet more than one of you have the same thing you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. And be a leader on this call, you guys. Be the leader who is the person who talks out first. That's what I mean. That whenever I'm on a call and one of the coaches comes out and is like asking about somebody to unmute and talk, I'm like, boom, I'm the first person to do it. So that's how you guys do that. Who's our brave person?
I was gonna go. A bug over here. It's in my ear. I've like totally struggled with this. People have told me how to deal with this and I'm still like struggling. So some action needs to happen there. But just like I'm trying to figure out how to like connect with people without being like, hey, I actually like want to help you too, and not seeming salesy, but like there's the connecting and then the inviting, and part of me is just like I'll just invite everybody. But then like it's not received well, even though like I'm still posting on social media sometime. Well, I mean, I'm posting, but like, I don't know, I've probably been like consistent for probably 4 months now. Mm-hmm. But I guess like, so my question would be like tracking, like between connecting and inviting and trying to figure out my system with that. That's my question.
Okay, I've got something that's going to save your life right now. So you're Instagramming it, right?
Yeah.
Your business profile on Instagram, right?
Not like you got a business one. Like it's like just
so there's a setting on Instagram. Okay. You guys
everyone should change theirs to that.
Change it to be a business one, and it's amazing because
you're going to track this way, and it's going to let you on Instagram.
Okay. When you have a conversation with someone and it's a business page, there's a little flag. Can you guys see that comes up? And you literally just tap the flag and it turns black like that. So then when you go into your messages, you can sort them by flagged.
Okay.
And so now all these people are people that I have flagged that I can go back to. Okay. And it doesn't stay overwhelming because you're signing them up. And then you unflag them because they're your challengers.
And I only flag somebody if they to me. So if I message people and they don't ever message me back, I don't flag them. Like if I get a chance to go back and like if they're watching my stories, they'll probably get like 25 messages from me because I just keep messaging them.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I never stop.
You guys, I literally I sang on a message the other day. I sang Adele. Like, hello.
Yeah.
It's me. Like, where are you?
Yeah. So like I don't flag those people who don't message me back, but they always come for full circle because they watch me every single day.
They still watch. They still watch you.
So this is why this tracking is not overwhelming, because you're only flagging the people who respond. And then make a day during the week, like 1 or 2 days, your follow-up day, you know? So instead of maybe inviting new people on Wednesday, let's say, you're not inviting anybody new. You're just going to your flags and you're just messaging them all. Hey girl, I know I talked to you couple days ago, just wanted to pop in, see how everything's going. I went over to your page and saw XYZ. I always, before I message somebody, go to their page, like a bunch of their stuff, even if I've liked their stuff before I even send a message, I comment on a couple things, I watch their stories for a second if they have stories. And then that way, when I message them, I've got something to talk to them about, and it's personal to them.
And here's what I'll say about that is if you go to somebody's page and there's nothing that you really like,
don't message them.
And there's nothing in their stories or nothing that, like, if you go and you're like, I don't have any idea what to message this person, then don't, because that's not someone that you're gonna connect with. You know what I mean? Like, and if they're watching your stories, you can go through and say, hey girl, saw you're watching my stories. I have no idea if this is interested in, partner up and work together if you've got some health and fitness goals on. But if you're trying to connect, like connect, you want to connect, or else it's like grasping straws and it's not worth it.
I always like too, another trick that I do with, like, you know, let's say today in my Vimify app, it says to invite 5 to 10 people to your challenge group. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that. So I go to my Instagram stories. I usually go to like one where I'm working out or like something like it's related to fitness, you know, and I'll click on all the people that get, and, you know, I'll pick somebody like, okay, I'm going to message her today. So I'll send always voice messages. I send a voice message and I'll say, hey, I try to use their first name. So I go to their profile, make sure I know what their first name is. But I'll say, hey, Brittany, it's Lauren. Just wanted to pop over and kind of introduce myself. Let's say I don't know this person, right? I wanted to introduce myself. I saw that you were watching my stories. Thanks so much, by the way. It's kind of still awkward sometimes to like video myself working out, but whatever. And like, it's just something funny, like break the ice. I usually always say, you know, I say thanks, and then I say, you know, I know you're watching, and if you ever need any help or guidance with your nutrition, that's really my purpose, or like your fitness or whatever. That's really my purpose on Instagram. I really do appreciate you watching, and I really do appreciate likes, but my goal on Instagram is to connect with people. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'd rather get to know you than just like have you watch me. Every time I say that to somebody, they're like, I get a response pretty much every single time when I tell them, especially if I'm messaging people from my posts, I'm like, it ain't about the likes, girl, about the connection. That's what I'm about on social media. And when I tell people what I'm about on social media, they are way more comfortable saying, oh, okay, you're about getting to know me. So I'm going to message you back.
And that's something I think that we overcomplicate. You know, we're sitting here and we're like, oh my God, how do I connect with someone? Like, tell them that you want to connect with them.
Tell them your purpose.
Yeah. And that makes it so much easier.
My purpose is women with their new, so if you ever need it, I'm your girl. That's what I say.
Chris asked if we do a challenge group in social media. We are doing both right now. We're doing we're just experimenting. That's the other thing, is we always try to figure out, you know, the new ways. We just use the app to track. That's it. We don't schedule posts in it. We don't do anything in that. Then track. And then we have a Facebook group that's just fun. So if you want to creep our stories later, we actually, Tuesday's theme is Twerk It Tuesday. So all of our girls like make these crazy videos and dance.
So funny.
And it's so fun. And Lauren got a message that we've only done it for like the last few weeks. And so Lauren got a message today and it was like, happy Twerk It Tuesday from like some girl that she doesn't even follow.
Random girls like, it's Twerk It Tuesday. I'm like, yeah.
So we just kind of keep Facebook fun, and then we track on the app. Anybody else want to jump in on something that's holding you back, or you want to talk through anything?
I have one.
Okay, hold on. I got to find you.
Kaylee Reed.
Hold on. You're like all up at the top. I can't find you. Got you. Okay.
See up my nose.
I know. Sorry.
Okay, so I guess like my biggest struggle right now is I feel like I was like on fire the first few months of the year, but it was all warm market people, and I'm like inside my head so much right now about like why, like I have not signed one cold market person, and I feel like that's like messing with my head so much, and I feel like I struggle so much with like, well, maybe I'm not any good at this, maybe I'm not cut out for this, like.
Okay, that's not true.
I go into like shutdown mode when I feel like I'm not doing well at something.
Oh yeah,
totally.
we all do that.
Okay,
that's normal.
So are you on Instagram mostly?
Yep.
So have you 5-3-1 method that Chalene Johnson came up with?
I mean, I try my best to do. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a lot of the people that I have that are like added on my Instagram, they like don't have recent posts, and I have like Stim Social that adds followers, and that's been getting me a lot of like good cold market people. But like, I feel like I don't know. I've told Meg before, I feel like I waste so much time digging through people's feeds trying to find things to like, and like
That's because you're not getting the right people on your page.
I know.
What?
You
Give
know?
me something about you. Like, are you a mom? Are you, what do you like?
That's another thing too. So like I'm going through a secondary infertility struggle. And so I feel like I've gotten a ton of women who could like benefit from this so much the way that I have, but like I get to the point
You
where
went
like,
on to a hashtag that would be related to maybe that. Have you done that?
oh yeah, I've got all that. And I've got conversations going with women, but like a lot of them, like their response is like, hey, thanks, sorry, but I was just following you to follow your fertility journey. And so then
Can you give me an example of what you say to them?
yeah, so like
Here, if you
yeah, let me pull up one of my like messages I sent out. mm, Okay, so like, okay, hey Stephanie, hope you're having a fab Wednesday. I noticed you've been watching my Instagram stories, and you can probably gather that besides being a wife and mama on a secondary infertility journey, I'm also running a virtual health business. I help women either on their health journeys who need more help, guidance, tools, or start their own businesses to help people the way that I do. Would either of those be something I could help you with?
Okay, number one, that's amazing message. But could we do a voice message of that?
You know, and I've thought about that. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I've never gotten
vulnerable. That's a vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
They need to hear it. They
Yeah.
need to hear your pain and all of that. If they could hear, like me listening to you right now, like love you already.
Mm-hmm.
And so they need to hear that come out. And who cares if your voice is shaky? That's even more relatable.
Yeah.
Okay? That's more relatable. I'm telling you, you send her a voice message back. Hey, you know, I know it didn't work out before, but I just keep thinking about you because, you know, and just send her a voice message. I guarantee she will respond.
Mm-hmm.
She might not sign up right away, so don't get in that headspace, but they need to hear that. They need to hear it from you because those texts, we're not getting your personality. We're not getting your love and all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The second, and I know sometimes Instagram stupid messages don't go through, but just keep saying, because that's where the connections happen. They got to hear your voice.
And I will tell you,
sorry, go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, if you're nervous to send voice messages, can you just give me a hand up if you're like, oh God, it's scary? Anyone? Okay. Here's what we would suggest, because it's what we do with our brand new coaches, is we do a call with them and we send them together. Like we'll mute ourselves. And it's so funny. The first time we did it,
our one girl's like, I need alcohol.
She's like, I need a shot. I can't do it. I need wine. Hold on. And then she's like, it took her probably 20 minutes to send her first voice message. And then Success Club in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So like
pop on with a friend on Zoom. If you're, you know, like message somebody on your team and say, hey, do you want to like get together on like Wednesday or something and just like voice message people back and forth? And that way, you know, you can unsend stuff, guys, right? You just hold it down and hit unsend if you screw up.
Not
like,
on Facebook, on Instagram.
No. Yeah.
Just so you know.
Instagram. So that's what I do. I go over to her house and we'll take turns. I'm like, okay, it's my turn. And I'll send a voice message and then I take a break. Then she sends one. And sometimes I'll be like, no, that's bad. Don't send that. And she's like, okay. Like, so makes it more fun too that way. And, you know, give yourself a number. You know, I'm going to send this many voice messages.
Mm-hmm. But too, especially with the infertility, like you can relate on such a deeper level with people off the bat.
Well, and I feel like that is such like I've always been very open with like what our struggles are. And I have so many people that are like, thank you so much for being that person, because I don't feel like I could be that person, and that's brave and whatever. And then it's like, I like the voice. I really like that tip, because I feel like right now it feels icky to me to be like, like, oh, hey, are you struggling with infertility? Well, hey, like, and it's, to me, it's not icky, but I'm sure to some stranger, it's like, why are you using what I'm struggling with to try to sell me something, you know?
I got a question.
Yes.
Do you talk about how Beachbody, how all of this is helping you with your infertility struggle?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like daily, how often?
I go through my spurts. I get in my modes where I like get inside my own head, and I'm like on fire for a couple weeks, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not selling anything, and then I go into shutdown mode, and I'm like, you know.
Okay. So tomorrow morning, get on whenever you're going to work out, whatever, make your Energize and talk to people in your stories talk about this call and talk about how, you know, it was scary to open yourself up and talk about all this stuff. But, you know, this is why you do what you do, because your fitness journey has helped you in X, Y, and Z. And then anyone who watches that whole story, you voice message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just say thank you so much. Like, this is so hard for me to talk about. And, you know, even if you start like tearing up during your messages, like send that stuff. Send that stuff. Like, seriously though, because you know how many people are going to hear that voice and like hear it and they're going to be like, you know what? I bet you'll get people saying, I've been so inspired by you. Give me some more info on what you're doing. I don't see why they wouldn't.
And it's not salesy when you do it that way, because you're talking about why this is helping you. And I think, you know, no matter what your struggle is in anything, you guys, if you go back to that, this isn't sales. It's not.
No.
Okay.
What else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'm kind of in a similar boat.
Hold on, wait, I gotta find you.
Oh, there she
Shayna.
is.
Okay, hi.
You know, like my journey, I guess the thing with my journey, like I was talking about earlier, like I don't have weight loss results that people might be looking for. Like mine is, you know, I have like 2 pregnancies that I got fit for. But this most recent chapter, like I had gallbladder surgery and I lost 10 pounds in a month. I was super sick, and now I'm getting my muscle tone back and I'm doing that. But I feel like people aren't really getting that message, or it's not like what they want to see or think about when they think of health and fitness. And a lot of my followers on Instagram are the same way, like, oh, I'm only following you to see your recovery from your gallbladder. And I'm like, well, that was like a month ago. Like, let me tell you, you know, what's working for me. And, you know, because they want to know, like, what can I eat? What can I do? You know, what are you doing? And I tell them, then they get their surgery and I follow up with them and they're like, oh, well, I don't have any problems. I'm not interested. I'm like, it's more important now to eat well and take care of yourself, because you're missing a vital part of your digestive system. Like,
Do you voice message them that and tell them that?
no, voice messaging is something I need to implement. I didn't actually know you could do that. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet you anything, if you get on and you're like, listen, it's like what you just said. It's so much more important now. You're literally missing, like, if you explain all of that, they're going to be like, oh, well, okay. Like, tell me what you got.
I think everyone on here could benefit from the voice messages, and just like see how it goes. And don't get down on yourself if somebody doesn't message you back. You're like, oh, well, Lauren and Jenna said that this is going to be the golden ticket. People still ignore our voice messages, you know? So it's still going to happen, but they now know what you sound like. I don't know how many times people have told me, like, oh my God, you can do this on Instagram. I loved hearing your voice. Like, this was amazing. You know, nobody sends me these messages. Not many people are sending these kind of messages, you guys. You will stick out from the crowd.
I actually had a girl message me that the other day. She's like, literally, I've had 10 coaches message me in the last week. She's like, and
not one of them sent a voice.
Not one sent a voice message. She's like, that's ballsy. She's like, props to you. She's like, how do I sign up? Because I already know what I want. Like, okay. So I don't know. Okay.
Meg needs to go to bed.
Meg's going to bed. Okay. So, I mean, I think we're going to end there, but you guys.
Meg has to go to bed. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm 8 months pregnant. No, but really.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
This was amazing. Like, I haven't seen the team interact this much on a call in a really long time. And I was watching everyone's faces. Like, they got so much out of this call. And you guys are amazing. You truly are. Keep doing what you're doing. We are definitely going to watch what you guys are doing, because you're doing some amazing things. They're like, oh gosh. No, but really, keep going, because you guys have found that sweet spot in this business. And I know everyone else, at 26 other people are looking for that sweet spot right now, and you guys got it. So keep going, and the rest of us are going to find our sweet spots and get there as well. Yes, absolutely. So guys, thank you so much. I will be putting this recording in the team resources, that file that I put together that everyone's like, I don't know where anything is. It's all right there, you guys. It's literally all there. So make sure you go to that resource. I actually had Allison, my assistant, like, she's pulling everything that I've ever done into that resource. So you guys have it all in one Okay, so all right, guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you for hopping on. Love all of you.